2 weeks from today, the nation and the world will mark the 20th anniversary of the September 11th, 2001 attacks that took the lives of nearly 3,000 Americans. For those families impacted, it is a wound that still remains fresh 2 decades later. And while many associated with the attacks have been brought to justice, many 9/11 families are still on a crusade to hold those responsible accountable. One of them is Terry Strada. Her husband was killed during the 9/11 attacks in New York. Terry, thank you for being here. Again, we're sorry for your loss, and we know that this anniversary coming up brings back a lot of those memories, a lot of those emotions. Talk to us about your effort to get the Biden administration to release classified information about the attacks concerning Saudi Arabia. Talk to us. What exactly are you asking President Biden to do here?
Okay, we are asking President Biden to support a piece of legislation called the September 11th Transparency Act of 2021. And what this will do, it will compel the FBI, the DOJ, to do a comprehensive search of their files and to declassify to the greatest extent possible everything that they have overly classified and put state secrets. They have stamped state secrets across the board on many documents that do not fall into the proper criteria. But I'd like to point one thing out to the audience, is that we have had an epic failure for many administrations leading up to 9/11, starting with President Clinton when he refused to take out Osama bin Laden, which led to the 9/11 attacks. And when President Bush came out and said there was no state sponsors of the attacks, that's when the lies and the cover-up began. And he continued that when he excised 28 pages from the joint inquiry, protecting the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the role that they played in the 9/11 attacks. President Obama continued when he vetoed the Justice Against Sponsors of Terrorism Act. And following that, then we had President Trump, and we met with him, and we asked if he would help us declassify some of these documents that are investigative reports into the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And AG Barr went ahead and put state secrets across the board on many documents without ever even reading the documents. So here we are with President Biden, who can change all of that.
Yeah, Terry, some people may be asking, Al-Qaeda is a sworn enemy, publicly a sworn enemy at least, of the Saudi ruling family, of the Saudi royal family. Are you suggesting that they intentionally helped, or they knew of the attacks and didn't share information? What is the accusation?
Yes, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia 100% was funding Al-Qaeda leading up to the attacks. They also sent agents on the payroll of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to America, to the United States, to help facilitate the 9/11 attacks. So they had handlers that came here and met with the hijackers, the first two arriving in California. We know of those two. We know of a third Saudi national that tasked those two Saudi nationals to meet and greet the hijackers. And we have been in a courtroom in a lawsuit against the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And everything is under protective order. That's why the media does not report on this, because the media is not allowed to know what is happening.
Right.
And fortunately, it's all been kept a secret. And every administration has bent over backwards to protect the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia from embarrassment. And that is not a reason to classify documents. That is not a reason to bury evidence, and that is exactly what the Department of Justice has been doing.
Now, Terry, you've asked to meet with President Biden. President Biden has said, he had promised during the campaign that he was going to release these documents. You had met with President Trump. Do you think that you'll get your meeting and you'll get this transparency before the 9/11 anniversary?
I am forever an optimist, and I am hoping very much, yes, that President Biden will respond to our letter positively. He will invite us to the White House, and we will get this legislation enacted. He can bring it to his desk any day. He could do it tomorrow. And I'm praying that he will, and that we will rip this Band-Aid off and expose the kingdom for what they do, which is support terrorism. I am scared to death with what's happening in Afghanistan with Al-Qaeda back on the rise. They and the Taliban will go back to their coffers, and they will go straight back to the kingdom to get all the funding that they need.
And as you said, there are legal cases that are moving forward. The courts have ruled that the legal case against the Saudi government here in the States can continue to move forward, but we're just not getting a lot of information out of our own government. Just real quickly, Terry, just like every American, you've been watching the collapse of Afghanistan into Taliban rule. We've been told by the president that we could get out because the Islamic terrorists who perpetrated 9/11 are really no longer there or had the capacity to threaten us. Do you believe that?
No, not for 1 second. I do not believe it. Not as long as the kingdom has never been held accountable, and we've never really taken a full examination of how 9/11 happened in the first place. No, they are lying, quietly waiting, and an opportunity is now presenting itself for them to come back out and get the funding that they need and threaten us all over again. And I am very much afraid that there will be attacks in the United States if we don't stop the funding and get very tough and put really strict consequences on any nation that supports terrorism.
All right, Terry Strada, thank you so much for being with us and for keeping up this fight.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Still to come, a special Freedom Facts takes a look at our military's accomplishments in Afghanistan.